But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to our movie review tonight. Terminator Dark Fate.
Gung, 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 gung.
Yeah.
Gung, 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 gung.
This movie is directed by Tim Miller, who directed the first Deadpool movie. And it stars Linda Hamilton returning for the first time in years as Sarah Connor, Arnold Schwarzenegger as a T-800 Terminator, Mackenzie Davis as Grace, and Natalie Reyes as Danny Ramos. And finally, oh God, where is it? Yeah. Wait, did they screw up the thing here? I'm looking at IMDb. They don't even. Okay, so I gotta look up. And then the evil Terminator, classified as a Rev 9 series. I always say it when they screw up it here on IMDb, but he was the guy who played Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was watching that whole movie, and I was like, why do I know this dude? Why do I know this dude? Oh, man, he's fantastic. I really like him.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a good actor. He was supposed to get his own Ghost Rider show on Hulu, but it got dropped. Yeah,
man, that guy plays a lot of skull-based characters.
Fire skulls, metal skulls, whatever. He's just really into skulls.
He's just like a big skull guy.
Like
he's big on skull and bones.
Yeah.
That's so weird that they didn't put his... Is it Fernando? Hold on, go back up.
No, I don't think.
Is it?
No. They would have his picture. No. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
IMDb, y'all dropped the ball.
Yeah, where is he? He's probably gonna be all the way at the fucking bottom. Where the?
There he is.
He's in
Gabriel Luna.
Yeah,
That's Gabriel Luna.
Gabriel Luna, the Rev 9 model, and he's already down at the bottom list in the rest of cast listed alphabetically. This is where you put like
he's he's equally
with the crew.
Movie.
Why is he listed down here? Yeah, he's like down in like the extras where you put like extras and stuff, or like minor minor of minor characters. Yeah,
cool kid,
God
Mexican
damn it. A
guy.
little more respect for Gabriel Luna. God damn
right?
it.
Like he's fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so hashtag justice for Gabriel. God damn it.
Fix yourself, IMDb.
Yeah.
You fix your shit.
Get it together.
Yes. So the basic plot of the movie is a young Mexican woman named Danny is being hunted by a new model of Terminator called the Rev 9. She is rescued by a woman named Grace who's part human, part robot. And on their journey, they are joined by Sarah Connor and a new Arnold Schwarzenegger-style Terminator. And it's a Terminator movie. There's not much plot. They're on the run from a Terminator. Of course, this one is more powerful than all the previous models, so I'm sure there'll be some debate because the last two movies before this had not Salvation, but anyway, we've had some pretty powerful. not Salvation.
Salvation had a bunch of pussy robots.
That's right.
They didn't do shit.
Yeah. We got shit. I don't care. We got killed by a bullet. Oh my god, what a pussy Terminator.
But there was one where didn't one of Sam Worthington or Christian Bale ride a Terminator's motorcycle?
Yeah, apparently in the war there's Terminator motorcycles, and Christian Bale hacked one and rode it. Because he's John Connor, he can get away with it. But anyway,
what are you? You're not even a robot.
Yeah. So let's get into this. We'll start off this. Krish, without going into details, initial thoughts.
I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. It's what a Terminator movie is supposed to be.
Right.
Right. It's like what I kind of remember. T2 when I first watched Judgment Day. You get introduced to the main character, you figure out who they are, and then this Terminator thing comes in real quick, and there's a bunch of action sequences, and then there's a bunch of exposition, then there's a bunch more action sequences, and they figure a bunch of stuff out, and then it's the ultimate big battle where it's this is the do or die situation. Yeah. And it was just fun. I felt like the stakes were high. There's one scene that made me very uncomfortable. We'll get to that. Yeah, but Linda Hamilton was fucking great. Oh man, that lady is awesome. And they gave her some awesome lines, and just dealing with the emotion of all of the shit that she has been through since Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I felt like they gave her character they really did justice for her character.
Oh yeah, totally. I gotta say, and I'm gonna say it right now. Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor in this movie, I think she was my favorite character in the film.
Yeah, I will say I was not a big fan of Grace throughout most of the movie.
Yeah, Mackenzie Davis, who is an actress who's probably best known for the TV show *Halt and Catch Fire*, but she's also been in The Martian and Blade Runner 2049, which I love. Blade Runner 2049. She plays a minor character in both films, but she has a few moments where she gets to show her stuff. Yeah, she's one of those up and coming young actors in Hollywood. And I'm hoping more for her stuff because I think she's actually a decent actor, but I don't think Grace. Grace isn't a horrible character, but
she's just not written very well.
Yeah,
she's kind of bratty.
She's supposed to be like the Kyle Reese of this new.
Is
soft,
she?
Kind of. That's the role she's filling. She's the one sent back in time to protect Danny from the Terminator that's trying to kill her. So she's supposed to be the Kyle Reese. And as we said, she's augmented in the movie. She's human, but she's been augmented with cybernetics, robotics. Yes. So she's got super strength, pretty agile, fast. She's also got like her vision. She can detect stuff, and she can see far away and all that stuff. So she's she's like a new version of the soldiers in the future war. So it's nice. It's nice to have a human who's like boost that. But beyond that, that's just kind of her character. It's just her role. She is to protect her. She's supposed to protect Danny, but she's never. I mean, they have a couple moments where they get into her backstory and she kind of pours her heart out. But I never really got behind her character. I just don't think I can. It's not there.
She was like mean to Sarah Connor a bunch. Like through the whole movie, she's just like kind of mean to Sarah Connor, and then she's like, "You have to your life doesn't matter." It's just like, don't say it like that.
Yeah,
like I think she gets it, but like you don't have to just say it like that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger once again is in this film. He is once again playing a T-800 Terminator, aka Cyberdyne Model 101. I can't give away spoilers as to why he's once again why another Arnold Terminator is in this movie. We'll get that into spoiler section. But once again, he does the Terminator role well as only he can. And once again, he's one of the more likable characters. And I hate to say that, but for me, the two most likable characters in the movie are the previous actors in their roles. And I hate to say that because they really needed to sell. And we'll get into it. So Natalie Reyes, who plays Danny, who's now the new human character that must be protected because she's important for some reason. Once again, we'll get into spoilers on that. She's important to the future of mankind in the battle against the machines. And I don't, Chris, what did you feel about? How did you feel about Danny?
I felt like her progression was really, really fast. Yeah. But I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, man, things just kind of ramped up real fast. I don't know if that was the same case for Sarah Connor in the original Terminator.
And I don't remember. I mean, it's been a few years since I've watched the original, but
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, because when we see her again in Terminator 2. She's buff, she's ready, she's had training. Yeah, because we've had several years in between movies where, it's indicated that she took her time, she learned her shit so she could teach John to prepare him for the war.
To prepare him for, taking care of, yeah. So, but with her, it's just like some of the things that they do in terms of like how they prepare her for things and some of like her character progression just sort of happens in like a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, okay, she's now doing this thing that is, and it's like, oh, but what? From where? I thought she was just like this working class like Mexican lady.
Yeah.
That
she's it's not like she's John Wick by the end of the film, but apparently just one quick little training lesson and she gets pretty good with a gun.
Yeah, like she's like pretty great with like she's super comfortable firing weapons all of a sudden. All of a sudden like she's not scared of Terminators.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck happened?
They needed a scene where she's like holding like a large gun and even like a big strong person and then the kickback takes her by surprise and she like almost falls backwards because of the kick from the gun. I think a scene like that would have been nice. But yeah, so and finally, let's round out the main cast. Let's talk about #Justice for Gabriel. Gabriel Luna as the new Super Terminator, aka the Rev 9. What did you think of our villain?
Oh man, this is like the most terrifying one yet. I think it's like the mix of the original T-800 and then the T-1000? Is that the second Judgment Day Terminator?
Yeah, he's like a better version of the T-X from Terminator 3, which was robot skeleton but had the liquid metal over it.
Yeah.
Except with this one, he can separate the liquid metal from the body and have two separate units.
Yeah, that was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that was good. I liked him, and in the moments where, much like the T-1000 from Terminator 2, his model is programmed with somewhat of a personality, and that makes nice little moments where it makes him a little more terrifying, where he's acting human, but underneath is just cold, hard steel.
Yeah,
so,
man, the way that he gets into places and the way that he like manipulates people and like makes jokes with them and shit like that, like, oof, it's fucking the way he played the character, because like most of the thing is like the thing with the Terminators is I don't even remember in T2, like the T-1000 didn't have that many lines.
Yeah, but he made an impression on you with
Yeah.
the few lines he did.
Oh,
Robert
for
Patrick
sure.
as a T-1000 kicked fucking ass.
Yeah, like I still remember some of those crazy scenes of him like forming back up and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
plays-
definitely think like there's that aspect of it in terms of like it does evoke that same sort of like, holy shit, how do you defeat something like this liquid metal thing? Like what how are you supposed to beat something like this? Like it does.
Yeah, because the original Terminator, the T-800, the Arnold one, bulletproof but not explosive proof. If you can like get a decent enough bomb, you could destroy him, which is how they damaged him in the first film. But this is different. This is different, because he's you see in the trailer they hit him with like Sarah Connor hits him with like a bazooka or something, and he just keeps coming. Like he's like beyond bulletproof. I don't know, but yeah. So I like Gabriel Luna as the new villain. I think it was well casted, and special effects were pretty good in this movie.
Special effects were great.
Yeah. I think there was only one or two times where I was like, but overall special effects were pretty solid. Action, overall I like the action. I think we've seen better in the series, but I will say I think we've seen better in the series because it's James Cameron. It's James Cameron. He knows how to do fucking
knows
action.
What he's doing.
But yeah,
I feel like for some people in our movie theater, there wasn't enough action because there was somebody that was very audibly sleeping during the movie.
You're kidding me.
No, they snored. I could hear it, man.
Like real loud.
Especially the moments where it was like the snoring came at the worst time, like to have a quiet moment where the characters are like talking to each other and you just hear it snoring in the background. Like, oh no, you're sad because of all the Terminators killed your family. Oh no. Yeah, because it was like oddly well timed for a comedic hit.
It was
Maybe they were
just
doing
too
it on
funny.
purpose. Maybe
Okay.
it was Sean Collier.
No, they were like out though. Like they were out for like a lot of the movie, which I was kind of upset about because I was just like, yo, why are you fucking here?
Yeah.
Like, what did you just pay
Money back.
$11 to like
popcorn?
take a
Yeah.
4-hour nap? Like, what the fuck? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Expensive, man.
As someone who used to work in a movie theater, when you have to wake somebody up because they're snoring so loud,
Oh man.
oh my god! Most of the time they react so horribly. They wake up and it's like,
What?
They just like what? Like, hey man, leave me alone or something. And they act like I'm like, sir, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to foreclose on your house. It's like, oh well, they have that kind of response. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but when somebody wakes you up, you're like, where am I? What year is it? Who's president? And if you're in a movie theater, I'm not
All
gonna
right,
be thrilled.
you make a good point, Sandy.
That's a fair
I would allow. I
is a
will.
fair
I will.
point.
I will.
Yeah,
I will
especially
concede
with
that,
White Claw
but I will
standing
still
over
hold
you
on to my
like,
head.
"Yo, dude, get out of here."
White Claw, about to get cut, motherfucker. Wake up. Anyway, all right.
Black Panther 3.
yeah.
Black Panther versus White Claw.
Oh no! What's up, Marvel?
Oh no.
That's what I said when we first talked
The
about this shit.
antihero,
Yeah. But anyway, Chris, you ready to get into spoilers?
Let's do spoilers, man.
All right, put up the spoiler warning, Sarony.
It's up.
All right,
Here
for those of you,
come the spoilers.
for those of you who are listening on the River's Edge SoundCloud page, we are getting into spoilers. You have been warned. Let's get into it. Let's get into the biggest spoiler of the movie, a scene that is gonna piss off a lot of fans.
Dude, so many people are going to be real upset about it.
So let's set the scene. So it's basically the first scene in the movie. We now see it's in the 90s, Sarah Connor and John Connor. It's 1 year after the events of Terminator 2. They're now on some sunny beach in another country, enjoying life, no longer having to fear Judgment Day because
I'd like to think they're in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
Yeah, it's because it's like real
Costa-
cheap
wait, yeah,
to
Costa
live
Rica?
there. Costa Rica.
Costa Rica?
Costa Rica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard. Oh,
It's
no.
like real cheap to live there, and a bunch of Americans apparently retire there and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it seems like a nice place to go if you've been chased by terrible, skull-faced robots.
Yeah. But anyway, so now I think in this scene is where the special effects are at their best because they have to de-age Linda Hamilton and show like a younger Edward Furlong, and it is at the level of Marvel's de-aging technology. It looks great. Like Linda, I could not see the imperfections at all. Wow. So they're having drinks. They're just having fun and relaxing now that they believe that the war of the machines is no longer going to happen. They don't have to worry about Skynet or anything. And then just walking up to like the little beach cabana bar is an Arnold Terminator, and he literally shoots John Connor in the chest and kills John Connor.
30 fucking seconds into the movie.
Yeah,
it's like, just like 2 minutes at most.
It's like not even that in. Like you're just like settling in. You're like, oh man, this is great. This is nice.
So
you know,
and a lot of fans have been asking, like, because like they said that Edward Furlong was coming back to play John Connor for this film, but he wasn't in any of the trailers, and people are like, why aren't we seeing him in the trailer? Then that's it. They literally begin the film by killing John Connor, the savior of humanity, the leader of the resistance. And that is going to piss off so many fans. I mean, I'm sure if I were to check online right now for anybody who may have seen an early screening or something, like a screening like before the one, like a week ago or something, I know a lot of fans are going to be pissed about that because that's a problem with a lot of fans had with the last movie, Terminator Genesis, in which that movie, John Connor is captured by the robots, by the machines, I should say, and he is converted into a new super Terminator, and he is the villain of the film, which admittedly, I think that's an interesting thing. You turn humanity's greatest savior into now its greatest threat. But the problem was they kill him off at the end of the film, which pissed off a lot of fans, and it kind of irritated. I didn't like it either. I don't know if it pissed me off, but I was expecting them to either figure out a way to turn him back into a human, or if they can't turn him into a human, at least reprogram him so he's now in control of himself and he's not evil anymore. But they didn't do that. They killed him off, and that angered a lot of fans. And no doubt, there's going to be a ton of fans who are going to piss off that they not only just kill him off, but kill him off in the first 2 minutes just to set up the new hero.
Yeah.
And I'm just
that was. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, were you guys angry, or were you just shocked?
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
I was a little surprised about it. I wasn't really upset, but I was just like, well, I guess they just straight up retconned both Salvation and Genesis, which means that none of us have to write apology letters to Christian Bale anymore.
Oh,
so I feel like
I wasn't gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the clear. I feel like everybody's gonna be okay. But I do feel like that's what they were trying to do, and this is kind of James Cameron coming in, and he's just like slamming his dick on the table, and he's like, boom! Y'all remember that hero we set up that you guys can't seem to let go of? That we have to keep making these movies around, and nobody seems to like it because y'all keep fucking it up? Blasted him right in the face.
Yeah.
Bam! Like, James Cameron was like, what are you going to do now? What, are you going to turn this other lady into a Terminator? Fuck you.
I just don't know why. Why James Cameron and Tim? I don't like it. I'm going to say right off the bat.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, man.
Stop fucking with John Connor.
I like the way Chris describes it.
No, he describes it well, but I'm just going to say no. Stop fucking with John Connor. Like, here's the thing. I don't mind that they've changed, because of time travel, the timeline has changed so much that they've established it's no longer Skynet that takes over the world and builds the Terminators. It's a new system called Legion. Legion that is not a military defense system. It is it's a military cyber war defense system. So
it's like a combat system.
Yeah,
it's a combat AI.
Yeah, combat AI for cyber warfare. Yeah, they say it's for cyber warfare. And it takes a little bit different route. Instead of like nuking humanity like Skynet did, what it does is it just infiltrates all electronics on the Earth, basically shuts down. Yeah. Cell phones, television, radio, whatever humanity uses, like modern technology, shuts it down, and then it lets, without technology, humanity goes into the dark ages, and it lets humanity tear itself apart before we get the new savior of humankind to bring them together to fight against the machine. So it takes
But it's still like hunting them down, though.
Yeah.
Like that. But that's the other thing is like it's not just like, well, I'll sit back and watch you assholes kill each other. Like it's still hunting people down. Yeah. Like it's letting humanity do its worst, and then it's still killing everybody, which is like, that's double evil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, and I kind of liked it. I like the new strategy, and it doesn't even nuke us. We tried. They say
We
in the movie,
tried to nuke
We
it
tried to
with
nuke it,
EMPs.
and I
Yeah.
don't know why. Because if it's they never really established whether it's an actual physical computer or if it's software. Because if it's software, you can't fucking nuke. It's going to be somewhere.
They were gonna nuke it with EMPs.
EMPs, yes.
To basically disable its connection to everything.
Yeah, and it didn't work. So then it built the Terminators.
Wait a minute. So is that just Ultron?
Yeah, I was about to bring it up. It's basically
just
Ultron.
kind of Ultron.
It's kind of Ultron.
Right?
It's very
Oh,
Ultron-y. So yeah, we have that, and which I do like. I do like the new. I'm not bothered that it's not called Skynet anymore because it's basically the same thing. Call it Legion, whatever. I think Legion is a word that gets used too much in sci-fi and fantasy, but whatever. So I do kind of like that new version of how the war starts and everything like that. I'll give that credit. And let's get into Arnold. So Arnold, his character in the movie is another T-800 model Terminator called Carl. He is the Terminator that shoots and kills John Connor in the very beginning of the film. And we found out through the course of the film that after he shot and killed John Connor, his mission was complete and he no longer had a purpose. And over the years, he developed a personality. He actually got a wife and a son.
Kind of developed a consciousness, is what they said.
Which they kind of indicate that in Terminator 2, that because by the end of the film, that model understands the value of human life. So I can see that kind of thing happening. Don't got a problem with that. And over the course of the years, he's been sending Sarah Connor text messages because he was basically a fail-safe Terminator in case the T-1000 in Terminator 2 didn't kill John Connor.
Yeah. So it's like Skynet was building fail-safes, and they kind of explained this because in the beginning of the movie, like that was my first question is like, wait a minute, where the fuck did this one come from?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so basically what they explain is like, oh, there are these temporal anomalies because Skynet just sent a bunch of different Terminators to a bunch of different time points. And every time these temporal anomalies open up, like I know where they go because I'm not technically supposed to be here because I'm from a future that kind of doesn't exist in this time stream.
Yeah, I found that kind of shaky that he could like detect that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That was kind of weird to me, but it was like
it's timey-wimey stuff, man.
And he he does this because he realized by killing John Connor, he killed Sarah Connor's purpose in life, and he believed by sending her to the coordinates where these other Terminators are going to pop up and killing them would give her purpose again.
That was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice of you that you gave this lady purpose by just murdering robots.
Yeah.
Like that's this lady's purpose.
So as time's going on, now let's get back to Danny, who in the trailer indicates that Danny will now be the new Sarah Connor, and she will give birth to humanity's next John Connor. And as I said before in previous episodes, I can already see like the memes online of or like, oh, it would be Guan Connor, but apparently no one's going to get a chance to be that jackassy and do that because she's not the mother to the savior of humanity. She is going to be the new savior of humanity.
Oh,
yeah.
twist! It could only go one of two ways anyway.
Yeah. Which they saved that as a surprise for later, which I don't know why. I just like Grace says, "I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier." Like, why not tell her?
Oh,
earlier?
because apparently.
Oh, she told. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Future Danny told her not to because she couldn't handle it.
Because she was like, "Yeah, I was kind of dumb and naive and whatever." And
but
I wouldn't.
But if she doesn't tell her, what if she's like, "Holy crap! I need to give birth to the humanity." To the savior of humanity, and she just went on like a fuck spree and just started fucking guys until she got pregnant. Oh. And that would, I'm pretty sure being pregnant would slow you down in the machine apocalypse, having to carry that belly around.
Truth. Yeah. I feel like not a lot of people are fucking in that apocalypse. You know, like I feel like there's robots trying to kill you. Like I'm not going to be able to maintain an erection. You know, that's not going to be.
Definitely. Me neither.
That's not gonna work out for me.
Yeah.
I was telling Vince last week, like, I don't have sex anymore because there's too much stuff to watch. And there's not even apocalypse yet.
Yeah.
It's like apocalypse of content. And I can't keep it up either. I gotta go watch the rest of Big Mouth when I get home.
Season 3 is great.
Oh yeah, they love that show, Sarah. Christian, they love it.
But that's the thing is like I don't know why they waited for like virtually till the end of the fucking movie to
it's-
be like, oh, you're John Connor. And the only thing I can
It's
kind
supposed to be a big reveal.
yeah, but the only people that it was a big reveal to was Sarah Connor and the T-800, who were like, oh, cool, we get to like protect this version of John again.
Yeah.
And the guy that was asleep, he woke up for that part. He was like, who?
Oh yeah, the guy.
John Connor?
He was like, oh, who's John?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm going
Is it one?
back. And then he went back to sleep.
Yeah. So, oh my god, I don't know what is there left to cover in spoilers here. So
Oh, the ending was kind of interesting. I like
Yeah.
the fight scene that they did
yeah,
at the end.
because to beat the Rev 9, it's Arnold. It's I'll call him Carl, the T-800. It's Carl, Sarah Connor, Grace, and Danny versus the Rev 9.
Yeah.
Just to show just how powerful this fucking thing is. It takes a 4-person team
But
to
it's
take
like
it down.
it's because and they almost get it. Like they have this whole insane. The ending fucking fight scene is just. It's just nuts because it involves like a plane and then like another plane crashing into a plane and then them like having this like
There's a Humvee
zero G
underwater.
yeah,
Whoa.
that part was the one that I got super fucking like uncomfortable with. Is I just don't like underwater car things.
Yeah.
You know,
It
like
makes me a little anxious.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too. And like the way they did it is, you feel it, like you feel it all the way.
Wow.
And then at the end of it, they have to use the power source. Do we want to reveal the very ending?
Yeah, fuck it. We're in
Okay.
spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
All right, we're
yeah.
in
So, yeah. So
Get the
Grace.
graphics up,
Grace-
dude.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
Grace, the cyborg soldier from the future.
Yeah.
She has a power cell in her chest, and the only way they had a plan to kill the Rev 9, which got screwed over in the most. I don't even know why
They went into a hydroelectric power plant, which I was like, why wouldn't you just be able to make an EMP from a hydroelectric power
Yeah,
plant?
they
right?
they
Like,
stole a
that's-
military grade weapon from a friend of Sarah Connor, which is an EMP, which stands for electromagnetic pulse. Basically, when that goes off, it disables any electronic device, even a Terminator. But it gets broken, but not.
They get shot.
Yeah, and that's a typical thing in storytelling. You come up with a plan to beat the thing, but then something goes wrong. You have to come up with something else on the spot. But it wasn't on the spot. It was like, all right, we got 10 minutes to figure something else out. It was like,
Yeah, and it was just like,
it needs to
oh.
happen in the middle.
We just landed in a hydroelectric dam. It's like, you really can't fucking come up with an EMP plan from that. Anyway,
The nerdiest conversation. I've
and
ever
I know.
Nerds.
Wow.
I know. You guys couldn't do but
I just blew out one of the channels.
so yeah, and then they like basically like it's a pretty cool fucking fight scene
Yeah, no, the fight's cool.
between Grace and this was the part where I was just like, cool, like I kind of like Grace in this moment
Yeah,
where
she's
she's
got the
just
chain.
fucking whipping the chain.
Which is
around.
ironic that she's fighting the guy who played Ghost Rider, whose Ghost Rider's main weapon is a chain, and she's fighting him with a chain. I don't know if that was their intention, like if like enough people know that Gabriel Luna was Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I just found that interesting.
Dude, oh man, Tim
Very
Miller
interesting.
totally fucking knew that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like Tim Miller was like, "Oh, I'll break the fourth wall in this movie too, but not directly." But they like shove him into this like spinning turbine.
Yeah.
And then he like explodes or something explodes, but he's still not dead. So Grace has to take out her power core and she was like shove it into his eyeball and it'll like fry his neural net.
Which is how they killed the evil Terminator in Terminator 3. The Arnold Terminator in that one pulls out his power core, shoves it into the bad Terminator, and it explodes. So they kind of reused that, which I mean, there's references to the other movies throughout the film. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
catchphrases and whatnot. But I was like, we did this already. We already did that. You need like.
Well, it's always one of those things is like if you're trying to kind of refresh the whole franchise, you're going to kind of do that sort of stuff, right? Like you're going to kind of recycle some of these
Callbacks.
plots.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be like, oh, we're doing that thing. Okay,
Still
now that
there.
we're
Yeah.
done doing that, let's make some like original storyline, which I don't know. Maybe we'll go to like an action adventure, you know, like a fucking gal pal. You know, let's run around the country killing Terminator movie, because at the end of the movie, like Danny's basically like, I'm never gonna let Grace sacrifice herself for me again.
Yeah.
And then it's like her and Sarah Connor traveling the country training, I guess. Like it's very unclear what they're doing. Like But I was like, I'm kind of cool. Like, even if this is the end of the storyline, like, I'm pretty cool with the way that this ended. You know,
good.
like if this was sort of the button, I'd be cool with it. Kind of like Judgment Day, because at the end of Judgment Day, I feel like everybody was just like, cool. Like, this is a nice way to button up the story.
Right. So, Krish, do you recommend that people go see Terminator Dark Fate? Do you recommend it or not recommend it?
I do recommend it. You should go see it. It's a fun movie. And especially like if you're an old school Terminator fan, I feel like this it's got the nostalgia element to it, but it's also got some really cool like newer elements to it. Yeah. That's fun. Yeah.
I'm a tad bit torn because this movie has a lot going right for it. Like I said, the action, special effects, Linda Hamilton back as Sarah Connor, Arnold, of course, doing his thing. The new villain, the new evil Terminator, played by Gabriel Luna. I like that. But my problem is our two new heroes in the film, once again, Grace and Danny, I really didn't get much from them. I didn't. They're not horrible characters, but they're just, and especially with, Danny does kind of progress, but she's never like that interesting, or I never really felt for her that much. Even when like her family dies, because we only spend so much time with Danny before the Terminator pops in to fuck shit up. Like, I don't feel like we got to know who she really was before the Terminator. And plus, in fact, once again, I'm sorry, maybe I'm fanboying, but I just didn't like how they just offed John Connor like that. I'm sorry, I just didn't.
I think you are fanboying a little.
I am fan. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I'm just like. It's just like they're beginning the movie with a message. Hey, you like John Connor? Fuck you. We're doing things our way now. Fucker. Ha. 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 So.
Yep. We're here for it.
We love you, buddy. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
John.
We got your back.
Yeah.
Okay, so recommendation or not?
Still have the first two movies.
Yeah. No, I'm not one of those guys who's like, this movie killed my childhood. No, I'm going to watch the old movies and enjoy them. I'm not one of those guys. I have a friend who's like that.
Still gonna play with the toys?
I'm still going to play with the toys. I'll be back. No. Bang, 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 bang. Recommendation.
Oh man, this is real tough.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's like holding on to the...
He needs a cough drop.
I'm gonna recommend it.
Oh.
I'm going to recommend, though, you see it during a matinee showing to save yourself a few bucks. I'll say that. That's how I'll put it.
Okay.
I will put it like that.
Play hooky from work.
Yeah, I'll say this: if they make another one, really develop Danny, really develop her, because she's going to be our new John Connor. Fine, but you got to make me love her as the new savior.
Either that or shoot her in the chest in the first 30 seconds.
There you go.
And that's the only way I'll invest.
Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that clip. We live stream every Thursday night on our Twitch channel, and of course check us out on the River's Edge Online Radio Network.